Okay, hi everybody. I know I always start out the same way. Okay, hi. Okay, let me start over. Hi. I just wanted to say that I know I really shouldn't be so flippant in my videos about mental health issues. But if you can't laugh about it, what good is that? But um, anyway, I know I shouldn't be so flippant because it is a serious issue, and I know that people do have side effects with the medications, but really, it's not like you're taking these medications because you want to. Like, nobody wants to have to take medications, for no reason. It's not like healthy people are going and saying, oh, I really want to take some, like, antipsychotic medications so I can be, like, really cool and everything. No, that doesn't happen. I mean, people who need to take these medications, like any medication, you have a problem and you need help with it. So, um, there's side effects for heart medication, there's side effects for um, every kind of medication. There's even side effects for placebos, which are just sugar pills, because people develop side effects for those. I know it sounds weird, but it's actually true. Anyway, so there are side effects for these medications, which are not exactly pleasant or wonderful, but the alternative is kind of crappy, like living your life completely depressed out of your mind and thinking you want to kill yourself every day. That's not a way to live. I mean, people do it, but it's not fun. And living your life when you're like totally psychotic or something and you don't have any grasp of reality, that's not really a good way to live either. So I think, you should just look at these medications as a tool to help you lead a more normal life. Other things matter too, like you need to have supportive people in your family, not necessarily your family, but in your life. Whether that's friends or, you know, significant others or parents or brothers or sisters or aunts or uncles or grandma or grandpa, whatever. You need that too. And, and we need the community too. We need people who we don't know supporting us. Like, we need good police officers and ER doctors and nurses who can help us when we're in crisis. And so often that is not the case. That is a problem. But we need, just like strangers, if you can just go out of your way to be nice to someone who may be having a really crappy day. I think that's why, I know this sounds weird. Everybody loves coffee and everything, and they love to go to Starbucks. But I think one of the things that makes it such a good experience is that, at least at the coffee shops I've been to, not just Starbucks, but the other coffee shops, is that you go in and you see the same people pretty much all the time, and you have some kind of connection with your community, and they treat you nicely when you're there. And it's kind of refreshing in the world today to go someplace and you get something nice and warm to drink and you get treated nicely. And people are friendly normally, and it's just kind of nice. So maybe it's just maybe people don't only go to Starbucks for the coffee. I know that when I started going there, I used to live next door to a Starbucks actually, and I started going out for coffee. But I didn't really drink coffee when I started. I just would have other drinks. But yeah, it was just like I was so lonely and depressed and everything. It was just like even the stupid small things, like having a 2-minute conversation with someone in a Starbucks was like enough to get me by sometimes. I know that sounds really lame, but like, sometimes that's all that people have. And so anyway, I sort of digress, but so what was I gonna? Oh yeah, I was talking about medication and everything else that, you know, it's too bad we can't be more of a community to the people in our communities, you know. And I like YouTube because it kind of creates a community of people who are talking back and forth, and um, you can see other people's, you can see their face and you can hear their stories, and it's really cool that way. But you know, we need all of it. We need all the pieces to sort of work together to help people who are not doing as well as other people. Um, when you don't have your mind in a good space for whatever reason, I mean, you just we just need to help each other, I think. Um, and part of that is, you know, some people who have mental illness, you know, just need the medications. You know, you're not going to like taking them, probably. It's not really fun to have to, like, spend all the money on the medications, make sure you have health insurance, and um, worry about side effects, or, you know, some of the medications do have sedation effects, especially the antipsychotics, which is not fun. Um, but if you can live a better life, I mean, I just think back to when I was like so depressed and psychotic and everything, and I mean, it just wasn't good. So I don't know how I can explain that to people who've never had a mental illness, but those of you who have had a mental illness know what I'm talking about. But it's just, it's so hard when, you know, you can't just be given sort of an even playing field, you know, with normal people. So, you know, so that's why I don't really like want to give more fodder to the anti-psychiatry people. But it is true there are side effects, but you know, the trade-off is you get to lead a more normal life, you know, if you get on the right medications and you have the right things in your life. And it can happen. So yeah, I guess that's all I want to say. So I'm sorry for being flippant. I just get so mad about those anti-psychiatry people because, you know, how many of them have ever been psychotic, or, you know, a lot, you know, and they influence a lot of people, and it just makes me so mad because they don't know what it's like to live with psychosis, or maybe they are someone who is living with psychosis and they don't know what it's like to be well. But either way, it's just like totally retarded, no, insane. Anyway, sorry, I use those words, but anyway, I guess that's it. Bye.